Have you ever wondered why Great Britain colonized India? It's a question that prompts a journey through the annals of history, a dive into the complex and often tumultuous era of colonization. The period from the 16th to the 19th centuries was a time marked by exploration, expansion, and the establishment of colonies across the globe. In this grand tapestry of world history, Great Britain emerged as a dominant force, a global superpower that didn't just dip its toes but dove headfirst into the waters of colonization. From the Americas to Africa, and of course the jewel in the crown, India. This wasn't a random act of territorial, it was a calculated move, a strategic play in the game of global dominance. But why India? What was it about this ancient land that drew the formidable British Empire to its shores? Today, we delve into the reasons behind Great Britain's colonization of India. Please subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos. The East, with its exotic spices, precious gems, and rich textiles, beckoned many a European power. But why did Great Britain in particular set its sights on India? As we delve into the heart of the matter, it becomes clear that the economic factors were a compelling lure. India was a veritable treasure trove, its lands overflowing with resources like cotton, silk, indigo dye, tea, and sugar, to name just a few. These commodities were in high demand back in Europe, and controlling their source meant controlling the wealth they generated. Moreover, India's strategic position in the global trade routes made it an attractive prospect for any power with imperialistic ambitions. The subcontinent was a gateway to the lucrative markets of the East, offering a direct route to China, the Spice Islands, and beyond. Then, there's the role of the East India Company, a trading firm that morphed into a sovereign power, effectively becoming the arm of British colonialism in India. But wealth wasn't the only reason Britain was drawn to India. In the Game of Thrones among European powers, India was more than just a prized jewel. It was a chess piece on the grand board of imperialism. You see, Britain's colonization of India was not merely about economic exploitation or cultural domination, it was also deeply rooted in geopolitical strategy. Controlling India allowed Britain to maintain its power status among European nations. Take France and Portugal, for example. Both had their eyes on the subcontinent, but Britain's firm grip kept them at bay. India acted as a barrier, preventing these other powers from gaining a strategic foothold in Asia. Moreover, India's strategic location, bridging the East and the West, provided Britain with a military and commercial advantage. It opened up new routes for trade, and offered a staging post for military operations in the region. However, the colonization of India was not purely a strategic move. There were other factors at play, which we shall uncover in the next scene. Ever heard of the white man's burden? This term was coined in the late 19th century by British poet Rudyard Kipling. It encapsulated the belief held by many Europeans at the time that they, as the superior race, had a moral obligation to civilize the savages of the world. This ideology was used as a cloak to justify the colonization of places like India. The white man's burden was not about the weight of physical labor, but about the perceived responsibility of spreading Western ideas, institutions, and culture to those deemed less advanced. It was about civilizing the natives, educating them, and introducing them to Christianity. This narrative was a powerful tool, painting colonization not as exploitative, but as a benevolent mission for the betterment of the colonized. However, this narrative was far from the reality experienced by the colonized people. This was the narrative sold to the world, but what was the reality? The British left India in 1947, but the echoes of their rule can still be heard. The impact of British colonization on India is a complex tapestry, woven with threads of both gain and loss. On the upside, the British introduced India to the Industrial Revolution, modern education, and a legal system that, although imperfect, was a significant improvement over what existed prior. At the same time, the British rule left deep scars. The economy was exploited for Britain's benefits, leading to numerous famines. Society was divided along religious lines, a division that still causes tension today. The political landscape was forever altered, with power dynamics skewed in favor of a select few. The British may have left India over 7 decades ago, but their legacy persists, for better or worse. It's a legacy that continues to shape India's present and future. So, the next time you wonder why Great Britain colonized India, remember it's a tale of wealth, power, and a supposed moral duty, the effects of which still ripple through time.